When we hear AI security, our minds usually jump to the IT department, right? We think of all this complex software, firewalls, technical stuff. But what if I told you that in this new age of AI, the single most important line of defense isn't a piece of code, it's you? That's exactly what we're going to dig into today. Why your choices, your awareness are the absolute key to keeping your organization safe. So let's jump right in. Just so you know, all the information we're covering in this explainer is from Chapter 1 of a tutorial provided by Virtualization Options LLC. So here's our game plan. First, we'll talk about the new reality. What's changed with AI security? Then we'll get into today's threat landscape. What are we actually up against? After that, we'll focus on the most important part. You are the first defense. We'll also cover the high cost of failure to see what's really at stake. And we'll wrap up with 5 key security principles you can start using literally today. All right, let's start with this massive shift that's happened. With the explosion of AI tools, security isn't just about protecting our networks anymore. It's really about protecting that space between the keyboard and the chair. That's right, the human element. Think about it like this. Old school hackers had to be experts at picking the digital locks on our doors. But now, with AI, they figured out it's way easier to just trick us into opening the door and handing over the keys. It's wild, but a single careless prompt, something that seems totally harmless, can literally undo years and years of expensive security work. The whole nature of the threat has changed. And this leads to the central challenge for, well, pretty much every company out there right now. We're all racing to use the incredible power of AI, right? To innovate, to be more efficient. But at the exact same time, we're facing this whole new wave of threats that are powered by AI. So navigating this isn't just a job for the security team anymore. It's a responsibility that every single one of us shares. So, what do these new dangers actually look like? Well, they really come from 2 main directions, and you've got to understand both to stay safe. Okay, so the threats are coming at us from 2 sides. On one hand, you've got the external threats. These are the cybercriminals using AI to craft these incredibly convincing phishing emails or even create deep fakes that clone a CEO's voice. Scary stuff. But then you have the internal risks, and this is often from well-meaning employees who, maybe without the right training, accidentally paste sensitive company data into a public chatbot. This is often called shadow IT, and it's a massive blind spot for security teams. And here's what's truly terrifying about all this. It used to be that you had to be some kind of elite hacker to launch a really sophisticated cyber attack. Not anymore. Now, with all these AI-powered attack tools available on the dark web, pretty much anyone with a little bit of cash and a grudge can become a major threat. The pool of potential attackers has just exploded. So all of this leads us to the single most important part of this entire security puzzle: you. And look, this isn't about pointing fingers or placing blame. It's about empowerment. Because it doesn't matter how fancy our technology gets, at the end of the day, the final, most effective line of defense is always going to be a smart, aware human being. Your role in all this really has 4 key parts. First, you're the first line of defense. You're the one who can spot that weirdly worded phishing email that an automated filter might just miss. Second, you're an informed decision maker, always thinking about the security side of things, not just speed. Third, you're a security advocate, just by setting a good example for everyone around you. And finally, you have to be a continuous learner, because believe me, these threats are changing every single day. And the reason your role is so incredibly important is because the stakes are they're higher than they've ever been. A single mistake, a single lapse in judgment, can have truly devastating consequences. And I'm not talking about some what-if scenario. Let's look at the actual real-world cost. Look at this number. $35 million. This isn't a guess. This is the real amount of money a single company lost because an employee was tricked by a deep faked voice into making a wire transfer. One attack. $35 million gone. That's the kind of damage we're talking about. And honestly, that $35 million is just where the pain starts. A breach like that kicks off a total avalanche of costs. You've got huge fines, you've got legal battles that go on forever, not to mention the massive effort to clean up the operational mess. But the cost that hurts the most is the one you can't put a price on: the loss of your customer's trust. A trust that might have taken decades to build, gone in an instant. Okay, we've looked at the threat, we get our role in all this, and we know just how high the stakes are. So now, let's get practical. let's talk about 5 key principles. Think of this as your personal toolkit that you can start using right away to become a much stronger part of your organization's defense. Let's break these down. First up, the billboard rule. Treat every single thing you type into an AI like you're posting it on a giant public billboard. Seriously, if you wouldn't want the entire world to see it, just don't type it. Second, the 2-channel rule. If you get a strange request, even if it sounds legit, always verify it through a second channel. A quick text or a phone call can be the thing that stops a total catastrophe. Third, the approved tools rule. Simple. Stick to the AI tools your company has already checked out and approved. They've done the hard security work for you. Fourth, question the urgent and unusual. If a request feels both super urgent and a little weird, that's a massive red flag. And finally, know your data. Be really clear on what's public info versus what's confidential. And if you're ever in doubt, just play it safe. So if you only take one single thing away from our chat today, let it be this. In the world of AI security, you are not a passive bystander. You're an active defender. You are a guardian of your company's most important assets. Every single decision you make, every email you look at twice, it's a crucial part of our collective defense. So as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with a challenge, a question to think about. What is one small security habit you can change, starting today, that will make you a stronger defender? Because in this new reality, every single one of us has the power to make a real difference. Stay safe out there.